everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again to talk about Bumblebee, which I know people are like, Marco, your channel is so random, like what is going on? Well, see, the thing is last night I went to someone's birthday party. And part of that party was going to the movies to see Bumblebee at a private screening. Oh my God. It was bad enough we got there like 10 minutes late. We got there like 10 minutes into the movie, which I heard that the first 10 minutes is the best part, where it's like just action-packed Transformers battling each other. I missed that, so it made the movie even worse. And oh my God, this has to be one of the worst movies I have ever seen. And I'm serious here. I mean, this movie was so bad. It was so embarrassingly bad. I legitimately felt embarrassed for the people who made this movie, especially the black kid who allowed himself to be demasculated and turned into basically a woman throughout the film. Oh my God, this movie was so bad. I didn't know movies could be this bad. I thought that movies could only be a certain level of bad. And you know, with movies like Book of Blood, stuff like that, it's kind of obvious that they'll be really bad because they don't have the resources, they don't have the talent, they're working on a limited level. You know, Book of Blood, that was a Clive Barker story. It was a very small type of thing. It wasn't Bumblebee. It wasn't a fucking Transformers movie. And in terms of Transformers movies, I've only seen the first one, and that was bad enough. I mean, the first one made me fall asleep out of boredom. I thought that, you know, it started off okay. I used to like Shia LaBeouf, and until I found out that he was I don't want to talk about that. And you know, I liked Megan Fox, of course, what they gave her, and I liked the start of that movie, but then it just became trash. This movie, however, was trash from the beginning. I mean, there's so many things I could talk about and disgust and shame. I mean, they're basically ripping off the Iron Giant. That's number one. And I'm sick of that thing nowadays where it's like people rip off movies from the past, and it's given a pass because it's like a, quote, soft reboot. Like The Force Awakens ripped off A New Hope. And it's okay because it's a soft reboot. And then Halloween 2018 ripped off Halloween and basically all the sequels at once. But it's okay because that was just a soft reboot. And then, what was the other one? The Blair Witch Part 3 basically ripped off Blair Witch 1. It's okay though, because it's like a, you know, it's like a soft reboot / sequel, so that it can get fans excited in the franchise again. Oh, it's so insulting. It is so sickening. The fact that filmmakers today are legitimately allowed to copy other people's work and put it on the screen as their own, and that's just accepted as a new movie. Bumblebee is not original. It is full of cliche after cliche. Coming of age cliches, action movie cliches, so many damn cliches. I was able to predict every single thing that happened. I sat next to someone who was able to predict everything that happened too. We were sitting there in disgust of this movie, this embarrassing movie, this abomination of a movie. You got Haley Steinfeld, and she's hot. Guess what? Never get to see her in any sexy shots like with Megan Fox on purpose. It was like they purposefully didn't do that in order to have this agenda. Women over men, let's sexualize men. Let's basically do the opposite of what was done in the past and do it on such a hardcore level that it's so noticeable. I mean, the thing about old movies is that it wasn't that noticeable, some of the stuff that they did, and so it was, you could accept it because it didn't affect the story. Like, what's an example? Well, I guess like monster movies, where you have like a woman screaming and she's like, there's a monster coming after me, those movies were good. This movie can't touch those movies. You could take the worst movie in the Universal Monsters catalog. This movie couldn't touch the worst one. This movie couldn't touch The Invisible Woman. This movie couldn't touch any of them. God, I hate this movie. I hate this movie. I am so angry about this movie, how bad it was. They literally copied someone else's work and they submitted that as their own with all these cliches, all this terrible dialogue like it was written by a 2-year-old. God. I can see why this writer needed Margot Robbie standing over her with note cards telling her what to write. Because that's right. At the end of this movie, I was reminded of the fact that this movie was written by the woman who also wrote Birds of Prey. Wow. The miracle is that she got hired after writing Bumblebee. I mean, imagine that. Who did that? Margot Robbie. It was just so bad. I'm telling you. And I'm just gonna destroy this movie. I mean, if I had reviewed this the day it came out, I would have done like a 3-hour-long rant. And so, just take into consideration that 3-hour-long rant is shortened now. It's shortened because it's 2 years later. We saw a movie that was 2 years old, and now it's gonna pay the price. So, first, and that's another thing too, is that this is another one of those PG-13 watered down babyish movies where it's like these studios think that adults are children now. And so basically we go to the movies to see movies that are PG-13 as adults for some reason. And the movies that are PG-13 are even more kiddish than ever. It's gotten that way. It's gotten to where G-rated movies are basically just anyone could watch it. PG movies are basically G movies now from back in the day. PG-13 movies are basically PG movies. And R-rated movies are basically PG-13 movies. That's how it's gotten. Because of the ratings board, because of the SJW agenda, and because of censorship too. I mean, you have directors like Martin Scorsese, and they're allowed to make basically softcore pornography with Wolf of Wall Street. But then you have like an indie film director who would do the same thing, and it would be not rated because of the hypocrisy in the ratings board. And I'm telling you, I don't know why in the hell this babyish third grader movie was rated PG-13. I mean, if you showed this to me as like a 3-year-old, I would have thought this movie was garbage then. Like, that's how babyish this movie really is. So we have this terrible plot, this cliche plot about this transformer who came to Earth to wait and to protect Earth from the Decepticons and wait for the other good transformers to get there, to have a war on Earth. And 2 Decepticons follow him. They have a fight, and they do this retarded thing where they like conveniently tear off his some sort of thing on him so that he can't talk, which, that didn't make any sense at all, the way that happened. And it was basically just an excuse so that the whole movie he could talk using songs conveniently, so that, we could play all these 80s songs to make people come over 80s nostalgia that we're still having in 2021, or I guess in 2019 when this piece of shit came out. And, there are just so many things in this movie that happen just because of the plot convenience. Like, oh, we had to set that up, had to set that little joke up, had to set that little cutesy line up. Oh, yeah. Bumblebee accidentally puts, oh, yeah, and we have the stupid-ass plot where the child has a dead parent, and she's sad about her dead parent. And that's going to be a major emotional plot point throughout the movie. That's going to make the audience feel for this character. And then let's talk about the agendas. So we got the sexist stepfather, and he literally gives this bitch a book that says smile more and why smiling will help you out in life. And, that's just, agenda stuff. Because the agenda is that it's like a sexist cliche for men to tell women to smile more. And so, he gives her a book that tells her to smile. Oh my God, he's a sexist stepfather. And the funny thing is that it's just so bad that it's like anyone would know that would never happen. It would never happen. It's just this cartoony, babyish thing. You can tell this movie destroyed me. It really did. Just watching this movie and seeing the poor writing, nothing in this movie made sense. It was all just plot for the sake of plot conveniences. There was no action in the entire movie. It's a Transformers movie with humans as the main characters. Need I say more? I don't understand why in the hell someone... Oh, yeah, because she's not a Transformers fan, the writer. And so she just wrote this disgusting Iron Giant ripoff with feminazi elements. It's so embarrassing. So embarrassing. And then let's talk about the thing that really irritated me. The black kid. And I don't know anyone's names from the movie. I can't even remember the main character's name. Girl. I mean, that's her character. Girl. Cliche punk girl who is an outcast and is bullied a little bit. And, she's having a hard time. That kind of a boring, cliche, predictable character. And then we have there's this neighbor, and he's black, of course, so that we can have that agenda. And he's the black nerd stereotype. And, we've had the white kid stereotype for a million years, so now we're going to start having the black nerd stereotype. And so he kind of looks like Norbit, and he's got like this afro haircut, so that, we can have that stereotype too. And let's just make him look as girly and effeminate as possible to promote that agenda too. And he's the ultimate simp. He is just a little bitch the whole movie. And I guess they hint that he uses female hair products, and they make it like seem like it's so insulting what they did to this actor. I don't know what this actor's problem is. I don't know why he would have signed up to be humiliated like he was. Because I'm telling you right now, no grown-ass man would do that. His part was so simpy, and so... it was just... Watching him in this movie, he was just like this whiny little bitch in the background. And of course, women over men. And so Haley Steinfeld is the strong character. Which really, she was trash too. She was another crybaby. There's just so many crybabies in this movie. The parents, you have the cliche with the concerned parents, and it's just so many cliches. And then you have John Cena, who's in this movie basically to be in this movie. And he's a trash character, he's stupid, he's mentally disabled, basically, and he makes the stupidest decisions. And he basically, he if this was an 80s movie, he would have been like a badass who helps them out, but instead, he's portrayed in this feminized, dumb white man stereotype way. Kind of like how Black Mask was in Birds of Prey. Other than that, the villains of this movie are just two random, stupid little Decepticons who take 2 minutes to beat. Yeah, the action was garbage. Most of this movie was just coming of age, corny drama with 80s nostalgia all over it, and poor writing, and Bumblebee was trash too. I mean, I don't know who the hell would like this Bumblebee. What a stupid, wimpy Bumblebee. This goofy joke character. I'm shocked at how bad this movie was. And it never ended too. Like, it kept on. Like, you thought that it was the end at one point with this stupid callback to the Breakfast Club, where it's just like, oh yeah, remember that? Remember the Breakfast Club? Let's rip off the Breakfast Club too. And but then no, it's not the ending. There's another ending, and another ending, and another ending, and another ending. There's like a million different endings. So yeah, this was an abomination beyond anything I could have imagined. When this movie came out and I heard people say negative things about it, I thought, there's no way that this could be like that much of a terrible garbage movie. And it was such an agenda movie too. So many feminazi agenda points in this movie. Of course, from the Birds of Prey writer. Oh my God. I probably lost brain cells from that movie, and that probably affected this review a little bit. So yeah, my rating, I would rate this movie an artificial mini cupcake. You know how cupcakes are the small version of cake? Well, just imagine if you took a cupcake and you made a mini cupcake like they have at Kroger, and you ate that, and they say, "Oh, did you like the movie?" That's the reality. It is like a mini cupcake with chemicals in it, just this chemically flavor, and it's just like this tiny little thing. Can't even call that a cupcake. That little embarrassment. That's what this movie is, a mini cupcake. And no, I will not be continuing to support this woman's work, this writer. I can't remember what her name is, but I'm not going to continue supporting her propaganda, her anti-men propaganda, anti-black men especially, I guess, because that character is just completely shit on the entire movie. And I will not be continuing to support this new Transformers franchise. I guess, like, the rebooted Transformers franchise. I don't know, like, what they're going to do next, but I will not be supporting it. So, yeah, fuck this movie. Fuck Bumblebee up the ass. Fuck everyone who was involved in making this train wreck of a film, this disgusting, kiddish movie. And again, I wasn't even planning on seeing it, so it's not really my fault. I was coerced into seeing it. So I would never have watched this piece of shit voluntarily. So yeah, if you like this video, this random out of nowhere video, give it a thumbs up, comment, tell me what you thought about this disgusting piece of shit, and subscribe to our channel. All that crap the YouTubers usually tell you to do. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.